Okay, so this is what I would say to a client who doesn't know what's going to happen with their RRSP. And this could be when they're 65, but there's also 50-year-olds who, like, people know that they should contribute to their RRSP, but they don't understand what's going to happen with that money. All they can think is, okay, it's a good thing I'm contributing to my RRSP, but they do not understand what's going to happen down the line. And they certainly don't understand that they're going to get a monthly amount from it. So you can use this at any age. As they get closer to retirement, you would use this more, but I've used this with a 30-year-old before. So here's your RRSP, and you know how this works. You put your money in, you get the refund, you've got your investments, your money grows, but at some point you're going to want to take money out. This is when you pay tax. If you're just taking out one lump sum in retirement at the beginning, maybe to travel or something like that, we might leave it in the RRSP. But mainly what happens is we open up what is called a RRIF, Registered Retirement Income Fund. And over here, you can hold on to that RRSP for a long time. You could withdraw it when you're 45, 55, 65. Once you turn 71, the government is going to force you to convert it to this RRIF. So know that you can only hold on to the RRSP until your 71st year, and then we have to convert it. So what happens is everything in the RRSP moves tax-free over to this RRIF account. We keep the same investments, or we change them if we want, but everything moves from the RRSP to the RRIF. And now that you are in the RRIF, you are forced to take a minimum payment every year. And you can take as much as you want, but you know that you have to take something. So let's say that you have to take it in your 72nd year. You've held it till 71, you've moved it over, your 72nd year has come, and you have to take a minimum payment out. That is a percentage of what is in the account. And right now, I think that percentage is 5.28. Is it 5.28? So you have to take a percentage, it changes every year, of what is in this account. And then it goes to your bank account. And we can set this up annually, like a lump sum, or monthly. So let's back this up for a second and say you've saved $150,000 into your RRSP. So you've got $150,000, you turn 71, that $150,000 comes over here. Oh, that's not, your $150,000 comes over here. Now you're going to be forced to withdraw. So you have to take approximately 5%. So you've got your minimum payment's going to be about $6,000, and it can come out monthly. So you're going to get $500 a month. Now you might say, but Laura, I need more than $500 a month. That's fine. We can set it at $1,000 a month. We can set it at $2,000 a month. It's whatever you want. You're in control. But what is going to happen is I'm going to show you how long your money is going to last in this RRIF when you withdraw. So if you tell me I want $2,000 a month, I'm going to say, okay, Susan, that is going to last you for 15 years. And we'll run the numbers for you and you'll know. So you're making a decision. But think of this RRIF as your own personal pension plan. Most people do it monthly, but you could do also an annual payment in January or December or whatever you want. Some people keep it for travel, some people keep it for Christmas time, or you're completely subsidizing your income and you're taking $2,000, $3,000 a month. It is your personal pension plan, and that's how it works. Questions? People, this amazes them. They did not understand this. They had no clue.
Do you discuss how you can split the RRIF payments or anything like that?
No, not at this point.
Yeah.
When I'm talking retirement planning, definitely.
Okay.
But not at this point, unless they have some specific tax concerns. And there's little like fussy rules around that too. Like, if you withdraw from the RRSP, you can't split the income. But if it's converted to a RRIF, you can. You have to be 65 to split the income. There's all kinds of little fussy rules that I don't necessarily know off the top of my head. So I don't spew them without double checking. So I would only do that in a retirement planning meeting.
Hmm.
Do you talk about the withholding taxes at all?
Yeah, I do. I if it's like relevant to the client, for sure. And because I will say, remember, you're going to pay tax on this, and then I'll say you could take 500 net, and we would withhold another $100 that we would send to CRA on your behalf, because there's lots of people that panic over the tax. And as soon as you say that we're going to send money to CRA, then everything calms down. Then they're like, it's their money. I don't see the difference, but immediately they calm down because they are very used to their paycheck, where taxes are already sent to CRA for them. So yeah, I definitely would talk about the tax. That's a good question. And for some of them, it's super relevant, right? Like with their $120,000 pension from Queens, they're going to pay a lot of tax, where when they only have CPP and OAS, it's barely any tax. So it's relevant for sure.
Are there any other common questions that you get regarding the conversion?
A lot of people, and like, for instance, Joanne this week or last week, they think that when they hit 71, they have to take it all out. That is a common misconception. So explaining this and knowing that it comes out gradually, like she was panicked. She thought, first of all, that it all had to come out. Then once I explained and showed her, because she had two RSPs, the spousal and the regular, and I said, combined, it's about $20,000 a year. And she said, what am I going to do with $20,000 a year? We're already accumulating money in our bank account. And I said, well, you haven't maxed out your TFSA. So why don't we, for right now, redirect your RRIF payment to your TFSA? So that is what we did. So we are going to, at least for the next 5 years, put her RRIF payment into her TFSA directly. Other people, I have done the same thing, but with the open. We don't have that many people who haven't maxed out their TFSA and are going to have big RRIF withdrawals. So I have done it to the open too, so that we keep the money, because we have people that don't need it. And often they get to 71, they've already established their retirement lifestyle, and they haven't used their RSP yet, and now it's like gravy. So then I do the same thing, and I say, we can just move it to your open account. And I mean, it's in our best interest too, to keep the money. But Joanne, last week, she was fully panicked. She thought it was going to all come out, and that's a common misconception, is they think they have to pay this massive tax. And then once she understood that it was $20,000 a year, then what am I going to do with it? Like, she thought it had to come out and go in her bank account and sit there. So providing alternatives, like, it seems so logical to us. They don't see it.
Any other frequently asked questions about this?
Yeah, I just had one in my head as I was explaining it. There are often questions about whether the RRIF will claw back their OAS. So I generally know it's 92,000, I think, is the clawback number. So if their income is anywhere close, I will study it and know that going into the meeting. Most people don't have an income of over 92,000 before they start taking their RRIF payment. But if they're close, then I will know the information about the line. But for some people, it is going to claw, and they have no choice. It is going to claw back their OAS. So at least preparing them for that before, like, the RRIF payment starts and they don't find out for another year, basically, because they have to file their taxes. So it's like almost 18 months. It's July of the following year that they would find out. So at least preparing them that their OAS is going to get clawed back. And it's not like it gets completely eliminated unless it's a specific situation, but it's a gradual clawback. So preparing them for that and knowing beforehand, before you go in, like roughly, yes, you have a $20,000 EA pension. No, your RRIF payment is not going to affect your OAS. Or yes, you've got a teacher's pension and you're going to withdraw $30,000 a year from your RRIF. You might be close to the line, so let's prepare. And for some people, if they were really close to the line, it might make sense to start withdrawing from the RRSP before 71, so that you get it down and then the minimum payment is not as high and it's not going to claw it back. We're talking $650 a month. No, it's $750, but people are very tied to that money because they feel like, I live in Canada, I'm entitled to that money.
You contributed, so you are owed it.
Oh, it's paid out of our taxes.
Yeah, it's not even people are very tied to it. So I'm just aware of the OAS clawback when I'm having this discussion. So like we tend to have people who are way under or way over, but I just want to, if somebody's close to the line, be aware of it.
Okay. Anything else?